Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm William Haas, and let's queer up politics. Protesters confront Trump at D.C. Steakhouse, call him quote-unquote Hitler of our time. President Donald Trump's attempt to showcase Washington, D.C. as quote-unquote crime-free turned chaotic when activists directly confronted him during his first dinner out in the city in nearly a decade. Trump, 79, made a short 3-minute motorcade trip from the White House to Joe's Seafood, Prime Steak, and Stone Crab, flanked by Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. Trump proudly declared, quote, "We are standing right in the middle of D.C., which was a very unsafe place, and now it's got virtually no crime. We call it crime-free," end quote. But inside the restaurant, protesters from a feminist active group, Code Pink, interrupted his meal.
Free D.C., free Palestine. Trump is the Hitler of our time. Free D.C., free Palestine. Trump is the Hitler of our time. Free D.C., free Palestine. Trump is the Hitler of our time. What do you want your legacy to be?
Let's go. Let's go.
What do you want your legacy to be?
Time to go.
Free D.C., free Palestine. Trump is the Hitler.
Time to go.
And he was welcomed here. He's terrorizing communities in
Let's go.
D.C.
Time to go.
He's terrorizing communities
Time to
all
go.
over the world.
Time to go.
From Puerto Rico.
Let's go.
Free D.C., free Palestine. Trump is the Hitler of our time. He is not welcome to D.C.
One activist later said in video, quote unquote, "He looked at us right in the eyes and we stood our ground. We're not afraid of Trump. He's afraid of us," end quote. The dramatic confrontation capped a week in which Trump defended his lack of local dining with reporters, failing to prove critics wrong. Instead, his outing drew national headlines for the protest. Meanwhile, Trump's claims about, quote, a crime-free capital doesn't match the data. D.C. police report violence crimes are down 27% this year, but at least 6 homicides have occurred since Trump's federal takeover began in August. Grand jurors have also rejected several cases against protesters, including Sean Dunn, a gay former Justice Department worker, accused of tossing a Subway sandwich at a federal officer. Trump's dinner ended steak, seafood, and dessert, but his efforts to control the narrative ended a public reminder that many in the Capitol still see him as unwelcomed. I guess you can have your steak and eat it too. You know?
Well, I mean, he used to have a place where he can go, his own hotel in Washington, D.C., in the old post office building, where he allegedly has a routine down to a science, you know. And also the poor chef who need to make a steak well done. I can't even imagine eating like that, but whatever. The point is, D.C. is as safe as it's ever going to be. National Guard or not no National Guard. This is a power grab. He wants a little capital of his own, hoist his own banners, show his face. It's become a little Pyongyang with, his portraits all over the place.
I mean, having armed National Guard in the city makes it less safe. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
I back in the day when they would put the National Guard on college campuses, what happened? They shot students. That sort of turmoil. It's not acceptable. What Trump's done to the district is absolutely appalling. Mayor Bowser's capitulation is even worse. She should be probably removed from office. Quite frankly, you can actually recall people in D.C. I hope that happens to her. Code Pink is just an amazing group. They have been really holding a lot of elected officials' feet to the fire on Palestine, on civil rights, on economic justice. And it's great to see, because there's a long history of D.C. activists driving elected officials crazy. This reminds me of when Ted Cruz was harassed at eating out in D.C. And I think, good. These people, they're driving the rest of the country crazy. They shouldn't be able to have a decent meal in D.C.
I agree. I think that people should harass their local representatives more often. Or else, they work for the people. Can we not forget that these representatives, senators, all the way to the president, they are elected to serve the people, not themselves.
And I must note, one thing I really like about Code Pink, is they very much annoy and mess up a politician's day, they don't shoot anyone. And I do think that is something to also remember, that you can do very aggressive, disobedient, even quite frankly unlawful actions, and you don't necessarily have to kill anyone.
Also, when it's crime-free, it's also economy-free, because apparently DC is now on lockdown and people don't want to go out. And kudos to the grand jury members who refused to true bill any of those indictments about throwing a sandwich at National Guard.
But that's been the most fascinating thing, is that we're seeing grand juries specifically are getting less willing to indict people, and media outlets are starting to say, the last time we saw something like this was the lead up to the Revolutionary War, and then that's sort of like, it's a big red flag for where our country's headed. I'm not saying the jury should start going with Trump's nonsense. I'm saying the government is acting in ways that is nonsense.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's sort of unrelated but related. I mean, locally we have Lauderdale by the Sea Entertaining naming a street after Trump, and he's still here.
I thought it was voted down 3-2.
Maybe it was. Unless there was a change or development.
Well, that is a big LGBTQ story for today. There's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.